You miss me? I'm so easy to miss. I drive fast, so if you did miss me, I wouldn't blame you. Well, this is the first video this week in an effort to make my 2 videos and keep my commitment, so you can expect another one in the next day or 2. But in this video, I want to try a few things. So the first thing is that I'm actually shooting at 30 frames per second in an effort to get more light so you can see more of my beautiful face. And I'm also going to try something at the end of this video where I just kind of present some quick thoughts. Things that maybe you haven't checked out that you'd like to, that interested me, and I'll share them with you. I'll include links in the description so we can enjoy them together. So the primary topic that I want to talk about and sort of give my actual opinion and thoughts on was that earlier this week there was an official announcement for the Samsung Galaxy A8s, and the phone is like a mid-ranger, so it's not special, but it is their first phone that they're releasing with the Infinity O display. And if you've lived under a rock, or you're not a geek, or you're most of the people that I know, basically what that implies is it's kind of the evolutionary movement away from the notch. So the notch first appeared in the Essential phone. It was popularized by the iPhone X, and it's that little bit that comes down at the top of the screen, and it houses some sensors, it houses the selfie camera, and a lot of phone manufacturers have copied Apple and sort of gone in that direction. Samsung has steered pretty clear of that, and they haven't had any notch. And now what they're doing is, in an effort to make their display bigger and brighter and prettier, brighter figuratively, prettier literally, they've punched a hole in the front in the top left, and behind or within that hole they've put the selfie camera. And I read in a post that someone essentially said, hey, this is as bad as the notch, essentially saying it was garbage. I don't think so. I made the suggestion, and this is just, I'm sure, one of a million good suggestions that people might have if they gave some time and effort to something like this. But my suggestion was, hey, why don't you put a very small strip, or a light ring, if you want to call that, a LED light ring, around that lens, and make it into like a notification light, so you have like a notification ring. And I think that would be really great, especially if they were able to ensure that there wasn't a light bleed issue, like there was no issues with the light bleed of the LEDs into the screen, or maybe they just took a portion of the screen that surrounded that selfie lens, and used that as a notification light. I think it would be great. There was someone I got into a conversation with, and they actually made the suggestion that the edge lighting feature that we see in the newer Samsung phones become more normalized, where that feature kind of repeats itself like a notification light would. I think that the notification ring is a little bit more minimalistic, and it's what I would be inclined towards. But regardless, I think that conversation, even though it was small, even though it was, a few back and forths between me and him, I think it was a good example of the type of direction that manufacturers could go to set their features apart and actually do something neat with that type of display. Whereas I think that the notch was not really a good platform for customization or for OEMs setting themselves apart. I think the only real customization that happened, which wasn't a customization, was Google coming along and saying, hey, we're going to write the code, we're going to write the notch into our operating system so that all the manufacturers can use the notch without it messing stuff up visually, and we're going to make a phone and do the notch worse, I guess to keep the bar low for other OEMs. I don't know, but anyways, let me know down in the comments if you think that's a good thing and you think that manufacturers can benefit from it, or if you think that it's just another example of Android going astray. This part of the video, I actually wanted to kind of do something a little bit different and just share some quick things that were on my mind, and maybe you get a discussion going. The first thing that I wanted to bring up to you guys, if you haven't seen it, there's kind of a neat trailer out for a movie called Brightburn. And I say it's a neat trailer, but it's really I don't think everybody's gonna like it. I don't know if I liked it. But anyways, it's essentially like, what if Superman, that story was a horror story? And I'm on the fence about it because it looks really interesting, but only if it's like first Saw movie interesting, not actual horror, gory. That's not that interesting to me. So like suspense, that type of thing, that'd be pretty cool. I'll link that down in the description. Let me know what your thoughts on that are. There's another movie that actually looked really interesting, looked really funny. It was called Upside with Kevin Hart and Bryan Cranston. Essentially, Bryan Cranston's character is paralyzed, needs an assistant. Kevin Hart's down on his luck and ends up getting this job as this guy's assistant. Looks really hilarious. I'm not that big of a fan of Kevin Hart, but that type of humor intermixed in that circumstance looks really good. Yeah, so that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and like I said, linked everything I talked about in this video below. Like and subscribe, and don't do anything I wouldn't do. I'll see you next time.